Making a plan and following that plan are two very different things. Often we make a big plan and everything is accounted for. Like you make a you thought of everything. And then life happens. And just one tiny bit did not work out, and the whole plan basically goes to the trash. That happened to me kind of like the two last weeks. You I made a big plan and a cool plan to basically have like a 1 week of production in advance for the videos here on this channel and for the videos I do for a client. And then I got sick. And suddenly I could not do this plan anymore. And old me would have panicked. Old me would have been really annoyed and probably just, throw my hands in the air and stop doing everything. And old me is still living inside me right now. But another part came along, and that part knows how to handle these situations better. It knows how to actually prioritize better. And so I got everything done for the client. The thing that suffered, the thing that did not get done were the things for this channel. So the thing is, my biggest flaw always was that I always thought I'm bad at planning because my plans never worked out. I never truly could stick to a plan and make it work. Like you hear that all the time everywhere. Everybody always says like, you have to make a big plan. It helped me so much. Just plan everything by yourself, like a small book, write everything down. And I don't think these people are lying, but they have like a system behind it that works for them. And I don't know how that system works. Not for them, not for me. And it took me now these 2 weeks to try to figure out, okay, what made me change? What made me realize, okay, I can do planning if it works for me? What changes? What changed? And how can I get that across in a video form? Because I believe I'm not the only one out here. There are countless videos out there showing you how to make a to-do list, how to use like a planner, how to basically give yourself like a small cake or whatever whenever you've done something good. Like, I'm a grown-up, I can buy that cake right now. That does not work for me. And there's countless of people out there doing that. But at least in my experience, there are very little people actually out there telling how they fail doing that and figuring out why. There are some, and there are probably way more. I just don't know them. I don't want to put myself out here and say like I'm the only one. No, but it's way more crowded. The voices are way more telling you how to plan and how to do stuff because it's easy to say, it sells, and it seems to work for a lot of people. What I think I realized is I'm not bad at planning. I'm bad at planning for my brain. Because I'm good at doing stuff like last second, like when I'm already moving, when I'm already doing stuff, then deciding, okay, now this is more important, now that, and then I can stack things up, that then I can prioritize. When I'm in that thought of, when I'm in that position, when I'm in that movement already, when I already super in the flow, when I'm making a plan, then I plan out a lot of stuff. I'm super optimistic. And I don't account for unforeseen events that might happen in the future, because life happens. And then these things happen. When I then execute this plan and something happens, I get sick, I don't know, there's no power anymore, the internet off, whatever, then I'm not in the same mindset I was when I was doing the plan. Then, because I'm more into the, okay, I have a plan, I need to follow the plan. That's how you become successful. That's how you get things done, because that's something I heard my whole life. That's everybody saying on the internet. So the part of my brain that knows how to improvise, that thrives on last minute decisions and on this flow of energy, is switched off. And I cannot so easily switch it back on. So the solution to it is not saying, okay, I will never plan again. Plans are trash. They never work. They always make me feel more stressed than I was. Or saying like, I'm just bad at planning. Plans actually work. I'm just shit at it. Both are wrong. These both of these assumptions that my brain makes are wrong. The thing is, how do you approach this then the right way? What can you do? If you are now watching this and you have the exact same thing, what can you do? What made me actually realize it? How do I do it? I went through, or I still do it, like a series of questions I ask myself. It's like, okay, why do I make the plan? Like, who do I make that for? Is that actually for me to save myself time and energy in the future? Or is that because, well, that's just something you do? And in the beginning, it was more, I did it because, well, I've been told that's how you do it. I've been told that's how it works. And my brain always gave me mixed feelings about it, because sometimes it worked out and my brain then got the information of like, okay, well, plans work. You know you're planning. And then it breaks down and it doesn't work anymore. But when you do it simply because you think that's how you have to do it, and because that's apparently how organization works, you do it with a different motivation, and you come to the planning phase from a position that is not aligned with how you work, how your brain works. I always made these plans not adjusting to my own habits, to my own brain. I came to it from watching a video, listening to my dad and how they do it. But that is how that works for them, not for me. And I never really adjusted it because it worked for them, it works for everybody else. It has to work for me. That is the first question. Like really thinking about, okay, who am I doing this for? Is that really am I just copying that, or do I adjust that for what works for me? The second question is, how, like, are you really, when you're failing doing your plan, are you really, think about how realistic your goal was to begin with. Like, if you made your plan coming from the position of high energy and putting a lot into that plan, that's not really realistic to begin with. And also in this, how realistic is it, comes like unforeseen things that are out of your control. For me, that is getting sick. That was not under my control. That just happened. And you cannot change that. And then it shapes into two different options you have. Okay, you can either say, okay, I need to get this plan done no matter what. Even though there's instances that you cannot control, and you try to control your illness, you try to control stuff that is out of your control, and that is meant to be to go wrong. That cannot work. The second better option is, okay, this is happening right now. I am sick right now. I just have a very limited amount of energy. What can I actually get done? Not can I get still the plan? Can I still get the plan done? Not that. Think, okay, what can I do? That is the realistic question you have to ask yourself. The third question, or third assumption more, comes to, how do you talk to yourself when stuff goes wrong? I talk to myself really bad, really bad. I still do. I got way better. But think about that. And not just think about it, actually do an exercise. That is something you can really do. All your internal chatter that you really direct to yourself, record that. Record it, say it out loud, say it exactly how it feels, say it as you mean it, and play it back. It feels hard, it feels bad listening to that. And it should, because these are words, these are phrases that are not nice, that are not great. Like, I always told myself in the past that I'm just bad, that I can't do it, I'm incapable, I'm stupid. Why should that work for me? In very harsh words that I will not repeat right now, like, because I don't want to feel bad. But do that. And remember how you feel. Really listen to yourself how you feel while listening to your own words. And then ask yourself the question, if you're in front of a friend that is in that exact position right now, would you tell them that? Would you choose these words? Would you be that harsh with a friend of yours in that situation? My guess is you wouldn't. And if I think about it and I would use that, then I'm probably a really bad friend. And that is what you are in that situation. That is what I am in these situations. We are bad friends to ourselves. We are bullies to ourselves. And that comes then to the fourth question you have to ask yourself. Does that do any good? Does that actually help you? Like, being that harsh, that unrealistic to yourself while planning, and Also, does it really help you using just other people's plans to yourself and not adjusting them? You wouldn't do that in any other instance. Like imagine you building, I don't know, you're building a house the exact same way in the Arctic that you do in the tropics. That does not make any sense. You wouldn't do it. And that is exactly that. Or a little bit more realistic. I mean, you would not try to, I don't know, for example, you never really ran like me. And the first thing you do is like, okay, I want to get into running. And you take the training material from somebody that is continuously doing like Ironmans. No, what? Just the first training session will break me. That makes no sense. Why would I do that? I would not do that. That's delusional. And that's exactly the same. Like, we're all different. We all work different. Our brains are different. And the conclusion I think you should get from all of this is you're not bad at planning. Planning's not shit. And you can actually do it. You can put these together. My plan for now is always I still write down what I want to do. I'm still getting stuff wrong. I still don't 100% know what I'm doing, but can get a little bit more rough outline of what my day would look like or what I want to get done. The difference comes in when I'm not 100% trusting the plan anymore. I'm not doing, okay, this is the plan, follow it to the T, no changes necessary. I'm not going in with that mindset anymore. I'm going in still being flexible, still knowing I can change stuff and I have to change stuff. So the point of this all is don't try to change things that are not in your power. Don't use them as an excuse either. Don't say like, okay, well, something small happened and I will go watch a movie now and eat popcorn because that's more fun. No, but you won't do that. I know that. But yeah, don't change things that you can't change. Don't be unrealistic with your expectations and with your plan in general. And be more gentle with yourself. Don't be the bad friend. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. If you're new here, I'm Johannes. Have a wonderful day and see you next time. Take care.